Hey, everybody. Welcome to Team Huddle. So excited to be spending this awesome Tuesday night with you guys. My day today has been so crazy. I pretty much swore it was Wednesday at one point in time. And then the only thing that brought me back to Tuesday was knowing we had Team Huddle. Is that not hilarious? Like, my days are associated by what plexus activities are going on in my life. And then I know what day of the week it is. It's fabulous. So welcome to Tuesday Night Huddle. So before I get going, I want to remind you guys some housekeeping stuff going on. So I have stuff written down because I always forget. And I have people messaging me. So if you've sent me a message in the last like 3 or 4 hours and I haven't messaged you back yet, I will. I was at a birthday party for my cousin, and so then we got home, put Josiah to bed. But housekeeping. So today is Tuesday. Wednesday, we are doing something new. We are doing these things called happy hours. And if you were on Monday Night Huddle last night with Amber, she talked about it a little bit. We're really excited about them. It's pretty much like our 3-day events that we've been doing, but they're condensed down into one day, and material's going to be uploaded in those throughout the day. But then we're calling them a happy hour because literally in 30-minute period span, there's going to be 3 to 4 live videos that's done with an introduction and an ending, or like a call to an action. And then they're done and over. But they're super effective on other teams. So we're trying them out on our team. And the idea of what we're trying to do is have weekly events for you guys, but something that is consistent, something that's easy, something that's duplicatable, but weekly events that people can plug into at any time. So this week we are doing this happy hour, and then I think what we're going to do is continue those for the rest of the month of May. So that's going to be this Thursday. Also this Thursday is new ambassador training, and that was kind of the messaging that was going on right before I got on, because we're trying to figure out time. So what we were going to do, what are we laughing at? I don't know. Oh, a cute kid with sunglasses, of course. Okay. But what we were going to be doing was the happy hours are going to be at 8. Well, right now, new ambassador training is at 8 o'clock, and those are every other week. So trying to figure out some timing, but start inviting your people to those happy hours. It's going to be a great, great thing. And then this Sunday, which Amber, I don't even think she's told you guys about it yet. Maybe she did last night on Huddle. Tammy says she did last night on Huddle. Excellent. But Amber is working together with other emeralds and sapphires, and this Sunday they are doing a VIP event. So that is this Sunday at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a half an hour before Hustle from 8:30 to 9:30. And then for those of you that live in Central Illinois, Monday, we are going to Springfield for an opportunity event that is Plexus-wide, Plexus-sponsored, Plexus corporate-sponsored, where Nikki Hinkle is actually going to be in Springfield with Sarah Taylor, who is a sideline diamond of ours. I know that some of our sideline sisters in the Bloomington area are joining us. I know there are some people from Alyssa's team, which is our sideline sister in Galesburg, are joining us. They're going to be lots of fun. We're trying to figure out some carpool stuff. So good fun things coming up in the next week. So lots of opportunities to get plugged in, lots of opportunities to be plugging potentials into, and to be learning for yourself. All right, so tonight I want to talk about intuition and communication. So I had also had another thing I was going to talk about, but when I was writing notes this morning, I think the law of intuition is going to take all of our time. So next week we will move the other topic to next week. So we're going to have like an ongoing theme. But the reason behind this, kind of the story behind this law of intuition and why I wanted to share it with you guys, was after our event on Saturday with our sideline sister Alyssa, who I think is on. I think I saw her name. Oh yeah, she's waving. Look how cute she is. Okay, so we teamed up with them on Saturday, her and her team, and as we were sitting around this table, we took over a restaurant like we always do and put 4 or 5 tables together, and we're sitting there and we were discussing our businesses and our tips for our fellow entrepreneurs that were sitting there and our stories of our businesses and our lives. And something that stuck out to me that came forth immediately in my head was the law of intuition. So this week I want to dig deeper with you guys into what that is and what I noticed on Saturday, that no one was there by accident, right? We had all purposely scheduled that event into our calendar, just like you guys all purposely schedule huddles, and we purposely schedule, events like Monday and VIP events and Thursdays and all these things. You're intentional with it. We had loaded ourselves into our cars on Saturday. And if y'all remember, Saturday's weather was nasty, okay? If you missed that, come on over to my basement because it's still drying out and the sump pumps are still going. It was nasty weather. It was not fun. It was not something that you were like, woohoo! I much would have rather stayed in bed with my Netflix. We actually talked about that at that team meeting. There were other places, but we did it anyway. It was an intentional thing. I think Jill even commented on her hair going flat, which Amanda had betted that she would. So, it wasn't great weather, okay? We weren't super excited about it, but listening to people together and our intentional action to be there. Intuition was something that we all had in common. The intuition that we were made for more, that we needed to be there because we knew that it would grow us. We knew that it would be something good for us. The intuition that we could achieve more and that we deserved more, to be honest, right? We also discussed that in network marketing, it's not for everyone. That's something else we know. And there's this graphic I've seen going around. I think it started by Amy Paul, but I'm not for sure, where it says, are you 2% or are you 98%? And this graphic is perfect and describes every single one of you right now that is on this Zoom. It also describes every single person around these 4 tables on Saturday. And those on this call, on our team, when we come to Monday, all those events, right? When you take time, when you go to convention, it describes our team. You guys are a part of that 2%, right? You're a part of that percent. You see a bigger picture. You see more. Y'all are special, right? And I mean, I say that and people are all like, yeah, we know that, Tristan. I don't mean that kind of special. I mean like truly special, because you guys see that there's more, that you can be made for more. So allow your intuition to be heard and to be utilized. So the law of intuition is really part of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership by John Maxwell. It's also, people will call the law of intuition as your conscious or God's prompting. Who was it that just referred to it as God's prompting? Bridget, oh geez, she's a diamond. She has a bazillion children. She's friends with Amy Paul. I can't think of her last name. Anyway, Bridget is her name. She's the one that refers to the law of intuition a lot of the times as God's prompting. So basically the law of intuition is about developing the leader within you, but developing that leader by growing on the things that you naturally are intuitive to. It's related to the things that you're naturally gifted at. Everyone has intuition. I had someone tell me the other day when we were yesterday, we were talking about the law of intuition in my job at OSF as a nurse. And they said, I don't have any intuition. That's not true. We all have intuition. Everyone has something that they're good at. The law of intuition is based on facts coupled with your instincts and these other tangible factors that we randomly have. Morals, momentum that's currently going on in our lives, relationship dynamics with the people we're talking about, but all those things coupled together. But why is the law of intuition so important to know and to understand? Because this law in network marketing sets the great leaders apart from those that are nearly good or average. And y'all, each of you, are great leaders or have the potential to be so. So you guys are setting yourselves forward by being in that 2% already. You're already there. Some people have better intuition from others, but it really doesn't matter. For this law, it's all about hard work, understanding what it is, and being committed to constantly growing that law of intuition. As a leader, there are things we have to be able to sense, and this law speaks to that, and be able to notice things in a positive manner, or being able to constantly having that mindset, right? Which is tricky. Mindset is not always easy. An example is, as wives and husbands or spouses in general, usually when your spouse calls you on the phone or walks in the door, you can kind of tell how the evening's going to go, right? I know that's true for me. As a parent, as soon as I pick Josiah up from the sitters, I can immediately tell what kind of day he's going to have and if I need to bribe him with McDonald's to get him home and get to bed on time. Like, it's just that mothers, that spouse Same thing with your closest friends and family, your parents, your siblings, whatever the case may be. There's that natural intuition that we all have. Same way at work. This morning when I walked into work, based on the fact that everybody around me was super quiet in their cubicles, I knew that it was probably going to be a rough day. It's those things that kind of smack you in the face, right? But the crazy thing about that is not everybody has that intuition. Some people call it being naive, but more than anything, I think it goes back to relationships and communications. And some people just don't care enough to understand the intuition around them, right? That sense. So, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. So we need to learn how to develop our team with this law of intuition, but to also develop our prospects and to develop ourselves. Leadership intuition is the ability of a leader to read what's going on around their circumstances pretty much at all times. We all have, there's different sayings to this, or there's different ideas. But we use this one trait all the time. Leaders or readers. How many times do I talk about that? Self-development, everything going on, right? But leaders or readers plays into the law of intuition in a different site or in a different idea than maybe what we're used to or what we've talked about before. So the first thing with this is that leaders are readers. So leaders pick up on details, you guys. They pick up on things that other people might miss. They sense this attitude and they're able to identify it, but then also kind of figure out how to maybe come to a better conclusion or to come to a better outline of how the situation is going to go. So leaders are able to identify or are readers of trends. They discern what their organization is heading or what direction their organization is going, the changes that are happening, and the work that is related to that and the next steps that needs to go. Amber is excellent at these at this trend, right? Amber is able to, and I think this is something that we all learn and we get better at, but she can go, or we were talking about today, you know what? For some people on our team, here's a great example. Our Princeton team rocks some 7-day events, y'all. They are amazing at 7-day events. I can't even get one person on a 7-day event. Okay, it's the reality of the situation. But y'all, I can rock out some 3 days. I can get people on 3 days like it's no one's business. But I can't get anybody to buy no 7-day Slim for $25. It just doesn't work. So I know for me personally that doesn't work for me. But I know that is an awesome trend that works for my Princeton team. So as a leader for Journey Towards Diamond and Odyssey to Gems, it's probably not beneficial for us to have 7 days every single week, but making sure that 7 days are in a rotation of events is a positive thing. See what I'm saying? It's understanding that kind of idea. So leaders are able to identify your trends. With that, to know the strengths and weaknesses of that, what works, what doesn't, and kind of go from there. Leaders are readers of resources. They maximize the benefits of the organization that we have, like welcome packs, like trainings, like opportunity events, like in Springfield. We maximize these things. We get our teams excited about them. We show up. We don't expect our teams to do something we're not going to do ourselves, right? That's something simple. Their leaders are also readers of people, communication. This is a people person. Leaders know how to read the people on their team. They know how to read their prospects. Here's a great example of this, the Color Personality book, right? The 4 Color Personalities of MLM by Big Al Schreider, you know what I mean. Anyway, to know that, to understand that color personality, to understand who they're going to look at. People can, it's something that is amazing to me that until I really started knowing the laws of leadership and really trying to work on these things, I can walk up to somebody now and within a 10-minute conversation, have a general idea of what their fears are, of what their concerns are, of what their dreams are. Like understanding that, knowing how to read people. I can understand, I can look at Jeremy and Christy right now and know that they are crazy. They have kids all around them, but they are destined for goodness because they're committed. Not just one of them, but both of them. Y'all, they are a power couple. Why? Because I can read that from them. I've talked to them. Leaders are readers of people. They're good communicators. Leaders are readers of themselves. This is probably the most important one that you have to be a reader of. You know your own strengths, you know your own weaknesses, but also you understand and know your mindset and why your mindset is so important. And when you have a dip in mindset, what you need to do to get back to the positive light, to get back to that thing that gets you going and keeps you going. Leaders are intuitive of their own self because a leader can make or break your own team. You will hinder your progress just as easy as you will create it. And if you remember, the speed of the leader is the speed of your team, always and always. So how do we develop this law of intuition? Well, how do you become a good parent? How do you become a good spouse? How do you become good at your job if you've never done something before? Communication, dedication, practice. And the biggest thing that I think that actually John Maxwell doesn't talk about is love, right? Intuition usually comes with communication. And usually that intuition is best spoken through your passion and your excitement. And passion and excitement are something that are directly linked to your why. But also, intuition is something that we all possess. So trust yourself. Don't make yourself something, or don't make yourself into something that you're not. Do you know what I mean? If you have weaknesses, know your weaknesses, but don't direct your journey, don't direct your business in your weaknesses. That's silly. If you aren't good at sending out mail, then don't promise your team you're going to send out mail. Maybe have your husband do that, right? I am terrible at sending out mail, sending out gifts. It's a true thing, you guys. I'll be like, we're doing gifts all day long, but a week later, the gifts are still sitting in my bag. So I have to put reminders in my phone. Or this is what I've started doing. I send them with my mom. My mom works in a bank and she takes the mail every single day. My mom can get those suckers in the mail in one day, but that's not a strength of mine. I know that. So I'm not going to figure out how I need to make sure that is working. I'm finding a way to make sure that that weakness is a weakness, but I'm going to focus on my strengths. I love doing huddles. I love pouring into my team. I love learning from my team. That's what I'm good at. I'm going to focus on my strengths. At the same time, I'm going to surround myself with people that can help me with those weaknesses. But it's not, I can't sit here and build a team of people that are, oh, let's see. Okay, so if you sit down and you say, this is what I want my team to be. Sit down with 3 strengths, right? And you say, when I think about my team, I want my team to be business-minded. I want my team to be intentional with their time or to be organized. And I want my team to be filled with people who are inspiring and exciting. I can't write those 3 things down if I am a Debbie Downer, if I do not have control of my own schedule, if I'm never on time for anything, and I have 20 million things going on and the business is the last thing I do. If I want people on my team that are business-minded, then I need to make sure my business is a priority first and foremost, right? Okay, well, God, then family, then business, but you know what I'm saying. I need to make sure that if I want my team to be timely and I want my team to be organized, that I am following my DMO tracker, right? Hello, is it filled out? Are you completing it? Are you doing your check marks? If I want my team to be on time, then I need to make sure that I'm on time for huddle. If I want my team to dedicate 30 minutes on Tuesdays to a team huddle, then I need to make sure team huddle is only 30 minutes. You need to make sure that your intuition, that communication is drawing the people into you, but that you first and foremost are doing those activities first. Does that make sense? Leaders are readers of themselves. Understand the things for yourselves, but understand that also for your team. Albert Einstein, when I was looking at this today, his quote popped up, which I'm sure I've seen this quote all over the place, but it didn't hit home until I read it today. Albert Einstein says, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. He also goes on to say, the only real valuable thing in life is intuition. Y'all, this to me is the exact same thing as that graphic that says 2% or 98%, right? Your intuition is something that's God-given. Don't change that. Use that. That intuitive mind is a gift. You are a part of that 2%. You already possess this law of intuition. but maximize it. Know what your intuition is. If you're good at people, maximize that. If you're good at organization, maximize that. If you're good at business, maximize that. Do you need some other things as well besides just maybe one of those? Yes, but that's what you can work on. But maximize and focus on your intuition. Focus on that communication. Focus on being that intuitive mind and what a sacred gift that is. And refuse to be a part of that 98%. Refuse to be that faithful servant. Does that make sense? Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? I gotta check our chat here. Anybody got anything? Really? Nothing? Really? Goodness gracious. Teresa looks like she's falling asleep, but she got a nice fuzzy blanket. I might come cuddle on your couch, man. One other thing I forgot. This is kind of for Teresa. Oh, anybody else? I don't think anybody else of you are that direction. So I'm working with, so Jen Patterson lives in Burlington, and Gabby lives in Burlington. Teresa's in Mount Pleasant. Christy Eves is in Fort Madison. Yes, Fort Madison. So I'm thinking, Teresa, maybe in July or August that we need to have a weekend Plexus trip in Burlington, because that's kind of central for everybody. So be thinking about that, because we're going to be group messaging or something. So get your butt excited, okay? Okay. All right, guys. No one has any questions. Let me take a picture. You hear that? Okay, if you want to be in the picture, pull up your photo. I don't know if Karen wants to be on it. There's, oh, I always forget that that's you, Morgan. I'm always like, who's Joy? I'm like, oh, it's Morgan. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. All right. Karen must be with the baby. Everybody said cheese. Oh, where'd Morgan go? The turd? Okay. Oh, she's back. All right, y'all. Do you guys like the idea of the law of intuition? Did you feel like that was helpful? Okay. Next week, we're going to talk about the law of magnetism. I got to figure out how to say that word, first of all. But, you know, like law of magnets. But then it has an ism at the end of it. Anyway, we're going to talk about that next week. It's going to be super good as well. That was another thing that I got excited about on Saturday. Alyssa, thanks for joining us, girlfriend. It's always good to see your face. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thursday, 2 events. Hop on them. Sunday, VIP. Monday, we're booking it to Springfield. I guess we're going to miss Huddle. This opportunity event's from 7 to 9. So what would happen if we all don't show up for Huddle? Sorry, we're jamming with Nikki. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you later.